Hey, you're it's I'm cold too. Me too. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh,
Go for the corner in the back. It's fine. No, it's fine. Just be where you, yep, this is totally fine. It's a different place than you normally are. I just thought I'd give you a bad time about it. Or you could just move forward, Diane, and split the difference. How have you been? Good. You know, at school, we always had the front of the class people and the back of the class people, right? It's like it didn't matter what the class is. You're just either in the front or in the back. Well, it's gentle yoga, so we're gonna do gentle yoga today. We worked pretty hard yesterday, so keep it gentle today. So I actually have to change the description for that Monday class. It says all levels, but usually ends up being somewhat of an intermediate class. So, right, Sue and Meg?
Yeah, I would say my hands are a little sore today.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a good form.
Oh, yeah,
But,
I know.
yeah. Okay, let me mute them. So go ahead and prepare yourself for the invocation by sitting on your blankets. And we'll begin. So cross your legs and cross them at the mid shin so your feet can support your knees. And then use your hands out towards your knees. So bring your hands actually to the front of the knees and pulling back with your arms to engage your shoulder blades. And then from the base of your spine all the way up through the crown of your head, make space. And then create a firmness to your back body so it supports your sitting. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest and softly close your eyes. Yogena chitasya padena vacham malam sharirasya choidyakinam yopa karotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatoshmi abahu purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasra Shirsham Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Harihi Om. Bring your head down. Bring your palms to your thighs. Draw your shoulders back. Open your eyes. And lift your head up. All right, let's switch the cross of your legs. So you can lean back, change the cross of your legs and come closer to the front edge of the mat. So your knees actually descend down, or front of the blankets, I should say. And then using your fingertips behind you, roll your arms inside out, reach the sides of your torso up, but without letting your knees lift or the back body sink back. So hold the sacrum firm, hold your back ribs firm, and broaden your chest. Then bring the left hand to the outside of your right thigh for Parshva. Step your right hand behind you. Again, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and with an exhalation, twist to the right. With the inhalations, create space, length, and as you exhale, try to maintain that height and turn. And then you can add your shoulder. Bring your gaze back to the front and we'll switch sides. So left hand behind you, right hand over in front. Again, avoid pulling the knees up. If anything, you can roll the skin from the inner knee toward the ground. Use your breath to create space. Exhale and twist to the left. So we want to lift the rib cage away from the hips, create space for the abdomen to settle back. Keep holding the back body firm, the ribs, your shoulder blades, and then exhale and take your head to look over your left shoulder. And bring your gaze back to the front and release your hands. We're going to sit in Supta, or we're going to lie back in Supta Baddha Konasana for a moment. So the bolster will be on the end of your mat. You'll have a blanket. You can use your bricks to support your outer knees. So it looks like this. We'll just start by getting some length in the inner thighs. So you fold a blanket up for your head so that your head, whoops, I'm gonna lose my hair, so that your head is at slightly higher than your chest. And let's have everybody put their bolsters on their mat so that when you sit down, you're actually facing the highway. Okay, so I'm going to use the bricks on the underside of my thighs. So the pose looks like this. You'll sit in front of your bolster. You should have a bit of a gap between your sacrum and the bolster. It's a little easier on your lumbar spine. And then you can walk your heels in as close as you can to your buttock flesh. Lie back, and the bricks go under the outer knees. Too much height under your head. Too much. Yep. There you go. Okay. When it makes the chin go like that, it's too much. All right. So you can pull your heels in as close as you can get them. The heels should stick on the mat. There's 3 heights to the brick. The flat side, medium side, and then the tall side. So pick the side that supports you, and then try to release the flesh of your outer thighs onto the bricks in an even way. The whole back body on the bolster should be touching again in an even way. That the right side ribs, the left side ribs are being supported, and there's no twist or turn in your trunk. If you lift your head up, you should see the center of your chest in line with your navel, the center of your thighs. The other thing we look for is to see that your knees are level with each other, and they should be hitting the blocks in the same way. If they aren't, adjust your bricks. Yeah, so you can flatten the bricks out, Meg, and just take them under the outer thigh. The bricks go under your thighs. Yep. And you're in Baddha Konasana, not Swastikasana. Yep. And then take the block out under your knees. So without the bricks under the outer knees, the groin stiffen. We want them to let go, to let your abdomen settle, and just let your inner thighs open a bit. Reach your arms over your head, palms facing each other. Stretch them. They don't have to go narrow. Just keep them shoulder width. Straighten your elbows. Yeah. So that your arms are straight. And straighten the elbows and try to create, take them a little bit wider so that you can straighten your arms. There you go. Yep. And I don't know if you can feel, but this one's a little lower than this one, so better to bring this one up to meet the other one. Here, try to keep the same height, right? Because when this one goes down, the body turns, right? So you want to reach, reach, reach. Reach your thumbs, reach the little finger. Again, firm the elbow. And then exhale, bring your hands back down by the sides of your hips, palms facing the ceiling. Then with your hands, guide your knees back together and roll over to your right side and come up. And I've put my chair on my mat, bolster, and a couple of blankets on that bolster folded lengthwise so that it matches the shape. And again, I've got my little piece of sticky here so my buttocks doesn't slide off. Fold your blankets. There's two ways to fold the blanket, right? They come out of the stack flat. This is width wide, but in this case, you want to fold it lengthwise so it actually matches the shape of the bolster, okay? That when we take the legs out, there'll be some support there. Okay, so then I'm going to sit on my chair toward the front edge of the chair and repeat Swastikasana. Bring the left leg in first, the right shin in front. And this is one of those poses that seems like more blankets is a good idea, but know that that makes it more difficult, right? So you just have to put your chair on the other side, right? Higher up the feet are, the more difficult it is, okay? So we want to walk the feet out toward the outer edges of the knees. So this is crossing the ankles. This is crossing the shins. So you have to walk those feet out there a little bit. Then bring your hands on the seat of the chair. Roll the buttocks forward. Let your knees drop down. So you're just hanging on by that little piece of sticky mat. Try to get the knees to find the bolster. Yep. And then use your hands behind you on the chair, the seat of the chair, the hoop of the chair. Roll the shoulders back, chest up, and let go of your knees. Firm your outer hips and thighs so it has some stability. And then again, let go of the groins. Let the knees come down. All right, we'll switch the sides. So again, this is not as much work as this, right? You can feel the difference. So leave the right leg where it is. Move the left shin in front. No. Why do you want a taller chair? You just take the blankets out of the way. Okay, so hands back, roll the arms inside out, lift your sides of your trunk up, and press your feet into the mat. We want to let the knees go. Can you narrow that up? So keep going. Yeah, yeah, there you go. That's it. We're doing the other way. And as much as possible, we want those knees to release down onto the bolster. You have to let them be heavy. The more that you lift the torso up, the easier that is. All right, and then we'll go back to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. And you have to press the heels. And again, roll to that front of the chair and let your groins open. So we want to, at some point, create space there so that the root of the thigh and the knee, that line is descending, right? We don't want to hang on to the hips and roll the buttock bones back. Roll the buttocks forward and let the knees be heavy and drop down. Use your hands behind you to lift up. So you're freeing up your groins and let go. Let go of the inner knees. Pull the buttock bones up, the outer hips and thighs up, the buttock flesh away from the chair. See if you can lift the buttock flesh away from the chair, not with your hands, but by using the muscles in your legs and the buttock flesh. All right. Stretch your right leg out to the right. Stretch your left leg out to the left. And then we're going to slide off the chair and onto the bolster. So keep the heels down, toes up, and then lower the buttocks off the chair. You might have to move a little bit forward. Try not to let the legs bend, and then lower your hands on the legs of the chair behind you. Yep. Reach the inner heels out. See that your toes are pointed up. So the heels are stretching to the leg. And now we're not going to be here forever. It's a little precarious, but just it's Upavista Konasana. Some support to the inner thighs. Keep the outer ankle bones in. Use your hands on the chair behind you to lift your chest up. All right, the legs in front. We're going back onto the chair. Turn the bolster. Now, higher is easier. Removing the blankets is harder, but I don't want to hold anybody back if you can get down there. So same pose, you know, if you want to move on, if you slid into it pretty easily, then remove the blankets. All right, heels out, toes up. Watch that your legs don't shrink or bend on the way down. You want to feel as if the inner thighs and the inner heels are gliding away from you. You can just move that chair back or forward, Ellen. All right, here we go. Hands on the back of the chair. Let the feet slide. And then land yourself on the bolster. And now we've got the elbows on the chair behind. Shoulders back, chest up. And again, keep the toes in line with the heels. So if we overreach the toes, right, it switches the work on the leg. So we want to pull the toes up. You okay? You want to come up here? You can come up here. And keep the feet perpendicular, right? They do lots of things, right? They turn out when the space isn't there on the inner groins. They turn in when we're knock-kneed. Lots of different shapes to make with the feet. But study your feet. That's an aspect of yoga we called svadhyaya. But you have to watch what your feet do because it affects what happens in your knees. It affects what happens in your hips. Tight hips starts with your feet. I'm turning the heat off. Sheesh. Okay, so take a look at your feet. Probably they're doing something other than you thought they were doing. You know, is the big toe and the inner heel in line with each other? Yeah, that little toe side of the foot has to lift up. Oh, pay more attention there, as if your foot was pressing into a wall. That's the shape it should have, where the ankle bone has an alignment, the inner outer knee have an alignment, and the knee is pointing upright. Whew. So this is Upavista Konasana. And then reach your hands forward. This is Adho Mukha Upavista Konasana. Again, be observant. If your hands don't reach the ground, the bricks are very convenient to lift the palms up. Keep reaching the legs. Press your hands into the mat and move your chest sternum forward so that the dorsal spine is coming in. Your upper back should come into the body as opposed to bowing out. So we want to move the shoulder blades in and forward. Put those up on some height. Yeah, there you go. And push them forward. Legs straight, kneecaps in, thighs up. Now, you came forward a little bit. What happened to your feet? Right, we lose the feet when we go forward. Brain likes to stay with the action of going forward. And then we tend to leave our legs somewhere. So Meg, look what happened to your feet. Look at your feet. Your feet. Yeah. Stay upright until you can control them to stay back. Narrow up your legs a little. They're too wide. Shoulders back, chest forward. And then you can, one more little bit, either slide the bricks forward or walk the hands forward. We're not going to go all the way, but keep the elbows firm, back ribs in, and stretch your legs. So that little toe side of the foot has to be engaged and lift up. Pull your thighs towards your hips, press your hands down. All right, and then walk your hands back up on the bolster. Walk your feet back together, and then we'll come up onto the chair. Moving my bolster out of the way. I don't want it to be a chair yoga class, but you know, we're just going to do a few seated poses here. I'm getting rid of my sticky mat because you want to be able to slide back and forth. So we're going to start with Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So I'm going to slide my whole left buttock, left leg off the chair. Okay, the whole left leg is off the chair. Reach it out to the side. Now this is the tricky part. Right knee forward. And the front of the thighs, try to bring them in line with each other, right? If your foot doesn't reach the ground, brick under it. Okay, yep. All right, you got it. So your hips should be facing me. Your chest should be facing me. And your shoulders should be facing the front of the room. Press the left thigh back and into the outer edge of that left foot. Yep, just put the forward foot on the brick so it has some place to push into. Now, much like Baddha Konasana, move the buttocks forward and roll both thighs inside out. Reach your arms out from your center of your chest through to your fingertips. Reach more into the left side. Reach more into the left side so the right side ribs have a lift to them. And then exhale and turn. This is Virabhadrasana 2. You're turning your head to the right. Keep the left thigh pressing back, the trapezium, shoulder blades moving down your back. And the arm should just be shoulder height. They don't have to go more than that, but spread. Yeah. Shoulder blades down your back, sternum up. And then we work to see if we can get that knee to come around so the inner groin has a stretch to it. All right, exhale, lower the arms down and shift sides. Okay. Now the whole right buttock, right thigh, right groin, right foot out to the right. Step your left leg out to the left. Now, I know, well, we'll talk about it. We'll do it this side first and then we'll discuss a little bit. So again, both thighs roll from inside out. The buttocks should move forward. Knee back in line with the buttocks. That's the hard part. Okay, so again, your hips should face forward, your rib cage face forward, and your shoulders face forward. With an exhalation, stretch your arms out. Pull the tricep muscle onto the bone, lengthen the bicep by extending the thumb side of the hand. Keep that right thigh pressing back, buttocks forward, and then exhale to turn. Keep your shoulder blades moving down your back and into your back. All right, and then exhale, look forward, release your arms. I'm going to turn my chair to the side to show. I'm sitting the wrong direction, and we'll turn the chair just so that it can happen. But you see that this is why we did Baddha Konasana first, is that we want that inner groin and the inner knee to be on the same line, right? Which is different than this, right? You see how my knee's forward and caving to the inside? That's what makes Virabhadrasana 2 Virabhadrasana versus Virabhadrasana 2, right? The knee should be out and track forward from the hip. Okay, so let's turn the chairs around. If you struggle with the foot on the ground, there's some half blocks in the back of the room. We're going to focus on the front leg more than the back leg. So if that back leg has to come forward, don't worry about it. Try to get a right angle to the right leg. Yep, don't worry about that back leg if it won't stretch, but if it'll, well done. If it'll stretch, let it stretch. But hips have to face the chair. Chest has to face the chair. Okay, put a blanket under you so that you can lift up a little bit. Okay, so now you've got to take a look, right? Heel underneath the knee and the whole left side of the body off the chair from the pit of the groin all the way. And then see, can you move forward the buttocks so that the pit of the left groin and the inner right knee touch the chair? All right. Use the hoop of the chair to lift your chest up. And now, if it's possible, press that left thigh muscle to the bone. But I'm more interested in you taking now the inner right knee away from the hoop of the chair. I know, it happens, right? Okay. You know, we all think we're in a place and somehow we end up in a different place. Is it sliding around? Yeah, press down onto it. And you can always add this. All right, reach your arms out to the side. Palms down, and we reach the left side back more to raise the right side ribs up. Yeah. And then turn your head and look. All right, well done. Lower your arms down and switch sides. All right, so again, we're gonna take the left leg onto the chair, right buttock completely off, heel underneath the knee. In Virabhadrasana 2, Parsva Konasana, so many of the standing poses, the shin is supposed to be perpendicular to the ground, okay? So if you need to move the heel back or forward to make that happen, do, and then bring the heel in. All right, stretch now your right leg out. Move as close as you can to the chair. And you have to meet some resistance here, right? With the inner knee, inner thigh to the chair, move the buttocks forward. And also in Virabhadrasana 2, both sides of the torso should be level with each other. Right? So we sit into that left side more. We press that left thigh back to straighten it. Reach your arms out. And reach them out with intention so that it spreads and opens your chest. Right thigh firm, stomp that left foot down as if you were going to sit up or stand up out of the chair, and then turn your head. Bring your gaze forward, back to the first side. Slide off the chair, left leg to the left, right leg bent. Classic alignment here in this pose is the front heel meets the back arch. Front heel meets the back arch of the foot. Left leg, left thigh, left buttock completely off the chair. All right, reach your arms out. We're doing Parsva Konasana. So from Virabhadrasana 2, shoulder blades down your back, chest up, press your left thigh back. With an exhalation, reach your right hand behind the right knee, catch the back leg of the chair with the palm facing forward. Now reach that top arm straight up in the air, palm facing me. And press into the bottom hand to lift your chest up. Now inhale deeply, lengthen from the navel to the sternum, moving the bottom ribs forward. Then turn your palm to face the head side and stretch your arm overhead. Parshva Konasana. What happened to the left leg? Firm that left thigh muscle. Press the left thigh back. Don't let the knee cave. And then move the buttocks forward. Roll the trunk toward the ceiling. See if you can catch a glimpse of it. And then inhale, come up. Lift your top arm, lift your torso up. We'll switch sides. Sometimes the chair is more work. So first we're going to start by getting the whole right leg off the chair, the buttocks as close as you can. I got to fix this. I can't look another minute. Stand up. Try that. Okay, reach your arms out. Grow tall in the sides of the trunk. Front heel in line with the back arch. If you can get that back foot down, press into the outer edge of the back foot, the outer heel. Inhale, exhale, reach your left arm forward. Catch that back leg of the chair with the palm facing forward and your right arm up in the air. We're catching that back leg of the chair so you can drive it into the ground and engage the shoulder blade. Forward. Try to touch both groins to the front of the chair. And then turn your palm toward the head side. Exhale and reach it overhead. Roll the left side ribs forward, lift the right side ribs up toward the ceiling, and if you can, look up. Inhale, lower the right arm down, lift yourself back up. Find the middle. This is like Upavista Konasana, which we did in the very beginning of class. But the toes point out, and if you look down, the center of your foot should disappear. Yeah, that way they're on the right line. So we don't want to overly turn the feet out or turn them in. So have the feet running the same trajectory as your thighs. And then move as close as you can to the hoop of the chair. Press your knees back, engage the buttock flesh. Yep, try to move your inner groins, inner thighs away from that hoop of the chair by taking your knees back and hold the buttocks firm. Press the outer heel down with a little more vigor than the inner heel and the mound of the big toe down. Mary Jo, walk your feet further out. There you go. There it is. Stop. And then grip the chair, shoulder blades down, chest up. Now maintain the firmness of your legs, Urdhva Sthasana with the arms. Keep your elbows absolutely firm, and as best you can, take your arms behind your ears, engaging your shoulder blades. All right, exhale, lower your arms down, and let's stand up. See if you can stand up without using the chair. Yes, that means that the femur heads, you're able to grip them. Okay, Parsvottanasana. Right foot forward, left foot back, hands on the seat of the chair. It's a little bit more height. But again, the front foot, your right foot, put in the center of the chair, right underneath the center of the chair. So you have a margin right to left. And then step well back with your left foot. Get that outer heel to touch the mat. Straighten both your legs, kneecaps in, hold the thighs firm. Straighten both legs. That outer heel of the back foot should stay down. and then push off the chair to take your hips back. Yep, let the hips go back. It'll help to keep some weight in the back leg. So we have to have 50% of the weight in the back leg, the other 50% in the front. Shoulders down, chest up. And then reach your arms forward onto that hoop of the chair. Dorsal spine in and look forward. So we're engaging the upper back. Move the spine into the body. Breath in. Exhale, pull that right hip back. Roll your left thigh toward the ground, bringing that outer left hip down. Exhale, walk your hands back on the chair. Lift your chest up. Bend your front leg. Step forward with your back foot and stand up. Inhale, Urdhva Sthasana. Your palms to face out. Exhale, widen your chest with your arms back to Tadasana. So the bottom of my kneecaps are touching the front edge of the chair. Can be the shins, just somewhere that you can feel that evenness. The inner edges of your feet also in Tadasana should touch. The inner heels, the mounds of the big toes. We're not going to look at our feet because not everybody's are the same. But, you know, as best we can, we want to make the feet work together. It creates symmetry in the body. All right. Exhale, lean forward, hands onto the seat of the chair. Let's leave the left foot forward. You can wiggle it toward the front of the chair and step the right foot back. So from the side here, while we're letting the legs stretch, this is what tends to happen, right? This, it's hard to see on the screen, but this hip lifts up, right? And then we go on stretching forward, but this side of the rib cage's crunched. So what needs to happen here is that spinning action of asking the hips to move towards each other, okay? So got left foot forward, got the right foot back, draw the left buttock back, roll the right thigh toward the ground, roll the front of the right thigh toward the ground, and have a full mat. You know, use your whole mat. Don't just be shy and not use the whole mat. Use your whole mat. Kneecaps in, thighs up, stretch your legs. The inner heel of the front foot, the mound of the big toe should be firmly connected to the ground. Reach the arms forward, dorsal spine in. Yes, you have to balance a little bit. Firm the outer hips and thighs. Get inner edge of the front foot pressing the mat, the outer edge of the back foot contacting the mat. Exhale, hands on the chair. Bend your front leg. Step forward with your back foot. Stand up in Tadasana. Suck the arches of your feet up. You have to draw the ankle bones so that there's an alignment with each other. Inhale, Urdhva Sthasana. Turn the palms to face out. Exhale back to Tadasana. Hands on the seat of the chair. Step both legs back. And we're coming into, it's kind of a halfway dog pose. Half Adho Mukha Svanasana. Point all 10 toes forward. Open your armpits by bringing your shoulders toward the ground. Yep, let them open. Hips back. Press your hips back as far as possible. Sides of the trunk long. Inhale, lift your head up, look forward. Roll onto your toes. Exhale, descend the front of the hips toward the chair. Don't let your legs shrink. Keep the kneecaps in, thighs up. Try to bring the front of the pubis toward the front of the chair. If you need to walk the feet forward to do it, you walk them forward and then plant them there. Exhale, lift your hips, press back. Let the head come in line with your arms. Watch the front ribs. They shouldn't Pull the skin. All right. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your head up. Keep the heel of the hand pressing onto the chair. Tricep, bicep firm. Reach the hips forward, chest up. Lift the inner knees, lift the inner groins so that the legs aren't sinking on the inside. We need the inner thighs to be light and lift. Exhale, back to dog pose. One more time. Roll the arms inside out. We come onto the toes, reach the chest through your arms, shoulders back, shoulder blades down your back, widen the collarbones. Okay, back here. Try to keep these down instead of climbing towards your ears. All right, exhale, step back. All right. Right foot under the center of the chair, left foot back. Parivrita Trikonasana. That's reverse triangle or revolved triangle. Bring your left forearm to the seat of the chair. Take your right hand to your hip and turn toward the wood wall. Turn your chest. So we press into the chair with that bottom forearm. And now with your right hand, pull your right hip away from your ribs. Yep, pull that right hip away from your ribs. Turn your chest, turn your gaze. Squeeze your hips together. Raise that top arm up. Exhale, bring the right hand down onto the chair. Step the left hand out. Reach both feet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then leave the right foot where it is. Step the left foot under the center of the chair. You should have a nice wide stride here, 4 feet at least. You know, otherwise the hips don't have enough room to turn. You know, it actually makes the pose more difficult. Okay, chest down. Grow long in the sides of the trunk. This time we're going to take the right forearm on the chair, left hand on your hip. Give the left hand a job to do. Pull that outer hip back. Yep, so we straighten the leg and we're working to take that hip back. And now roll your chest toward the white wall. There you go. Keep that moving back. All right, shoulder blades into your back. Grow long in the spine. And then reach your left arm up in the air. Alan, your front leg is accidentally bending. Yep, don't let it bend. Don't let it. Keep kneecap in, thigh up. All right, exhale, bring the hand down, look forward, step back. All right. One last chair pose. This is Prasarita Padottanasana. So you can take your chair toward the white wall. I want your feet on the mat, but it looks like this before you go down. Now, let me say this. If your legs are stiff, okay, and if you're unable to get down to the bolster with what I'm looking for is the elbow, the shoulder, and the hip to be on the same plane, okay? So it starts out like this, and you have to find, you know, where am I in the heels? Where am I too far back? You have to be in the middle so that you don't injure your hamstrings. And then slowly I'm going to take my head down, but you can see my elbows, shoulders, and hips, right? They're all on this same plane, which is different than this. Okay, so you get an extra bolster, you get an extra set of blankets, get whatever you need to be able to lengthen your spine. That's what this pose is about, being able to lengthen your spine and work your legs apart from each other. We have thousands of bolsters, so I think it's better if everybody goes the same way. Yep, so Anna, it's Anna, right?
Anna.
Yeah, flip around. Yeah, that's okay. Oh geez, you got your mat kind of moving around here too. Okay, so you know, it's okay to have have the chair be able to move away from you, you can actually use it to lengthen your spine. But start with your feet flat on the mat. Hands flat on the bolster, and have a nice wide spread to your legs. Okay. See that the little toe and the outer heel are even with each other. And then we have to lift that inner ankle bone up so the inner knee, inner thigh lifts up. Now find your balance. Weight in the heels, weight in the toes. Then we find the middle. Okay, and for you, you've got to turn those toes in. You see how they're flared out? Yeah, and now do the other one. Okay, now widen the elbows. Same here. Turn your toes in more. There you go. If the mat's slickery, we got another one. All right, widen the elbows and bring your forehead down onto the bolster. And move the bolster forward. So just your forehead is on it. You don't have to smother yourself. It's good to be able to breathe. But engage the dorsal spine. Here we go. So just take the elbows wide and rest your forehead on the front edge of the bolster. So I'm just going to move this away from you so you can breathe a little bit. Up a bit and move it forward. Just bring your forehead. That's it.
Holly,
Hello.
Holly, we lost you. We can't hear.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the internet went out for a second, so I lost you all.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so here we go. We're on now.
okay.
So I've got 2 blankets folded for the head side. You haven't missed anything. We just
Okay.
did Prasarita Padottanasana, and now we're setting up for, it's kind of a Paryankasana variation. There
Okay.
should be a bit of a gap here for your shoulders to roll over. It looks like this. Again, your 2 bricks can support your outer thighs. I don't want to see anybody with their groins just hanging. Okay, so before you go down, the bricks can be in place. Okay, so the heels come in. I'll put these in place in a moment. And I want to release my shoulders over. Okay, and then you can see my head's just resting. And add my blocks. to support the outer knees. Okay, if your knees are stiff, there's 3 heights, right? 3 heights to the block. All right, but you see my shoulders are rolling over and my chest is broad. The don't pose is taking the bolster too low on your spine. It needs to be just at the top of the spine. Otherwise, you're just bringing the dorsal in and it's a different pose. It's actually no pose, but you know, it's not what we're doing. Okay, so legs out. Yeah, soles of the feet together. And then curve over the bolster, letting your shoulders release over. Yeah. Come towards me. Yep, so your shoulders actually release down. There you go. And you can take your arms out to the side. Don't go any further. Okay, now you got to go back that way. Now arms out to the side, over the bolster. There you go. Okay, so the arms should go out to the side, over the bolster. Just come back a little bit. You got to move more toward the head side. Yeah, and arms out to the side above the bolster. Okay. Move you a little bit. Move this way. Can you come towards me just a bit? There. Okay, and just let the arms go over the bolster and out. Palms up. How's that? Okay. Okay. All right. Just had a look like, You know, it should feel like you're getting some space in your chest here. Meg, try to fold the blankets under your head higher and move more toward the buttock side. Just your shoulders look like me.
You mean like this?
No, you're too far over. Do you see where my shoulders are?
Yeah.
Where yours are? Yeah. So they just have to go barely over.
Oh, okay.
And you reach your arms out to the side.
Okay.
There you go. That's better.
Okay.
If you need to increase the height under your head, you can do that. Okay, that looks better. How come nobody said, well, we finally got to the gentle part?
Really?
Try to feel that you can let go and release your outer thighs into the blocks. And then again, you know, Meg, you can even take yours lower if you want. We observe that the right outer thigh is hitting in the same as the left. Both shoulders are rolling over in an even way. Let your chin come down, back of your head and neck long. All right. Slowly bring your knees back together. Roll to your right side, come up. Flatten that one blanket that you had for your head. You can use it again and have your belt. Okay. So the way we use the belt is that we make a big loop with it. Okay. So that we can hang on to it. This is Parshva Supta Padangustasana. And it starts out, right, shoulders on the ground, but the buttocks are now elevated on the bolster. Okay, and you can adjust so that you get the back ribs on the ground. Okay, we're going to leave one leg straight, take the other leg up, and I hold on to the handles. I'm just holding on to the handles of the belt. Then when we go to take the leg to the side, both sides of the belt come in one hand, and I wrap the belt around the wrist and take my leg out to the side. That way it stays on the same trajectory, okay? And up. So off we go, lie down. You can adjust forward or back so that your pelvis is on the bolster. Your head's on the blanket behind you. You can move the bolster back as needed. And again, I want your back ribs to be on the ground more than your shoulders. So shoulders, back ribs on the ground. All right. And then raise the right leg up. Make the loop as wide as possible so that your heel is over your hip. And one hand on either side of the belt. Stretch your left leg out. Let's make this a little longer so it's not such a... Hang on to the handles there. All right, so we reach the left leg out, left toes up, left heel down, roll that left thigh outside in, so the inner groin is descending, and we're just stretching the right leg up to perpendicular. All right, now we came off the bolster too much, and you've got on your head, yeah. This is under your shoulders, yeah. This should just be under your head. Yeah, now lift your head up. Hang on, give me a second. Now down. Yep. Release your shoulders. And don't pull the leg so much towards you. Yep. Actually, bend the other knee. Lift your hips up. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Now, the outer right hip and thigh should move off your waist. So both sides of your waist are evenly long. Keep reaching the left leg out. Straighten the right leg by engaging your kneecap. Keep the thigh muscle pulled firm to the bone and let the skin behind your knee stretch. Spread your toes. Poor toes, they get trapped in shoes all day and they're forced to live right next to each other. Give them some room here. Now bring both sides of the belt into your right hand. Thread the hand all the way through, all the way. And then you reach around and catch the belt. Now, keeping the left heel down, lower your right leg out to the right without changing the tension on the belt. As soon as you feel the left hip lift up, stop. That left buttock should stay down. We're looking at creating some space across the front of the pelvis. So you should feel the left buttocks down, left side ribs down, left shoulder down, and then bring your hand to the top of your left thigh and pull that left hip down toward the ground. Yep, try to separate the left iliac crest from the right. See that the toes are even with the heel. Spread your toes. All right, and now exhale, raise the right leg back up. Slide the belt off. Lower your right leg down. If you can take it down straight, even better. See that your pelvis stayed on the bolster. If you need to adjust forward or back, do. Press the right heel down. Roll the right thigh outside in. Keep that little toe side of the right foot extending up toward the ceiling. Raise your left leg up. Try to bring it up straight, right? So it's already got a firmness to it. When you bring it up bent, it works different. But, you know, we have to be where we're at. Then rodeo style, lasso your foot, throw the belt up there, catch it. And then one hand on either side of the belt. Stretch your leg, extend the heel up, press the thigh muscle. Keep the left thigh muscle pressing onto the bone. Reach your right leg. All right, now we'll go for the Parshva. So both sides of the belt into the left hand. Reach through the belt. And then you wrap the belt around the wrist. And take your leg slowly out to the side. Oh no, did it come undone? Did you get it back together here? Handicap you with a bum belt. Mm-hmm. There you go. Yep. And then out it goes. Keep this hip down. You can even use your right hand on your right hip if you need to keep that hip down. You know, again, what you're looking for here, what I'm looking for, what we all hope to have, is space across the front of the pelvis. When the space goes, there's no nourishment for the internal organs. They get collapsed on each other. As if there was an elephant sitting on your right hip. Yep, there you go. You know, the reach of the heel is connected to the back of the leg. The extension of the toes forward is connected to the. We'll work it in an even way. All right, raise the left leg back up. Bonus now, bring the right leg up to meet the left. Take one loop of the belt off your foot. Yep. And then you can just hang on. Yep. Don't let the buckle hit you in the face. Okay. So you want to take the legs back until the buttocks are down and then go hip width. Little toe side of the foot down, big toe side of the foot up, and you can just hang on to either side of the belt. Let your sacrum flatten. You don't have to take the legs over, just heels in line with the buttocks, feet hip width apart. Yep, you can just loop this over and hang. And go wider with your legs. When we take the legs wider, it helps to spread the sacrum. Okay, so we have an evenness to your legs, and maybe you can see your legs now. You know, right leg should be as high as the left leg. Both kneecaps firm. The sacrum should feel the same on the mat behind you, on the bolster behind you. All right, then well done. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Roll over to your side. Next pose, Setu Bandha on the bolster. So we'll just do the single bolster version. The other one goes for your head, you know, so it's a little bit softer. I am also, if anybody's got backache, you put your bricks on the back edge of your mat. I'll go into this like I have a backache. Okay. And I'm going to make the loop of my belt the width of my mat. Okay. So, you know, it's just a quick measurement. It doesn't have to be absolutely exact. Okay. But the lift of the heels, you know, creates much like that upavista we did. We want that line to be straight. So here we go. So again, I just measured the mat one side to the other. I've got the belt in my outer heels. When you come into this pose, right, there's a secret to coming into it and creating some ease in your back, is to lift the buttocks up and lengthen. Right, you lengthen the sacrum, and then slowly, in the same way as our Paryankasana, the shoulders should descend down the ground. And you can see I'm on the back of my head. You reach your arms out to the side. And again, I'm doing the backache version with my heels on the block. You can have the heels on the ground as well. Okay, so I'll leave the block business to you. Start by sitting on the bolster. And again, your feet shouldn't go any wider than the mat. Otherwise, it changes the shape of the pelvis. So if you have to narrow up the belt, narrow it up. You miscalculated, but start with the knees bent. Knees bent, buttocks forward, lengthen the sacrum. And you're gonna have to move further forward. Yeah. And then lie back. And then slowly you grip the sides of the mat and slide the torso toward me, toward the head side until your shoulders are just hovering above the ground. You went too far. Don't let the shoulders hit the ground. Back of the head long. And then reach your arms out to the side, palms up. And they can just be 90 degrees, wherever they're comfortable. And then make the belt taut by extending the feet forward. I know, ponytail, it's always a problem. Reach your heels. Lengthen the tailbone, buttock flesh toward the heels. See if you're evenly on your mat. So again, you want to feel like there's the same amount of pressure, the same amount of extension on either side. If it feels like you're listing to one side, reach the opposite leg a little further. Soften your abdomen, let it settle. Let your chin come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Feel better? Okay. Take your head just slightly toward the like the telephone side, right? Okay, now let's leave this leg where it is. Stretch this one out. Now you're even. All right, just another couple of breaths here, and then we're going to come out of it. So once we're in Setu Bandha, to come out, we don't want to do a sit up to come out. You want to push with your feet. So bend your knees, push with your feet, lower the torso all the way down. If you can get all the way to the buttocks, even better. But, you know, get to where you can get off the bolster and then reach your right arm out to the side, roll over. So come towards me, Ellen. Keep coming.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, keep coming. And then roll over and you'll sit up and set yourself up for Shavasana. And it's heads this way, feet toward the highway, so we don't have feet toward the altar. If there's a bunch of stuff around you that you don't want around you, you can quickly move it out of the way. Shouldn't be touching anything in Shavasana. Do have a blanket for your head though, because it creates some quietness, some softness. You can bring your bolster to the top of your thighs. That feels good as well. Kind of a grounding feeling. It helps to let go, to have something heavy on you. There you go. Shouldn't go on the abdomen though, just the top of the thighs. Don't ever, and I mean ever, put any weight on your abdomen. Alan, you take your glasses off, or your specs, as my teacher would say. Again, face your palms to the ceiling. Have a soft, slow, smooth, but full inhalation. Draw your breath in, allow it to create a lift and an openness to your chest. And then exhale. And slowly taking a few gentle, deeper breaths. Remove the bolster from your thighs. And then you can draw your knees up. Reach your right hand over your head. And then roll gently over onto your right side. Then when you're ready, use your left hand on the ground to lift yourself back up. Namaste. All right. Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you, Holly.
You're welcome. When are you coming? Or are you?
I'm coming. I don't know when.
Okay. All
We'll
right.
see how things go.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you.
You take care. Bye. Bye, Stu. Bye, Meg.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Marito. Bye.